Good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. It's not just me, but we've got the wonderful and the beautiful HarryTrades joining us on the channel for the game week. Harry, thanks for joining us, my man. How are you?
Of course, mate. Yeah, no, I'm buzzing. Really, really excited for this upcoming game week, to be fair. Yeah, thank you for having me.
It's going to be a huge game week. You're one step ahead of me, Harry. It's going to be a huge game week. And earlier today, we had bombshells dropped on his new reward prize pools. Everything's going up as of game week 310. So I've not done it yet, but at some point, I'm going to be diving right into lineup builder and going right to game week 310 and get clicking and clacking and work out where the missing pieces are and how good everything is. So in the stream today, Harry, we'll be doing the usual stuff that we've done the last couple of game weeks. We'll have a look at each other's lineups, we'll have a look at the prize pools, the fixtures, all the usual, all the good stuff. As always, guys, if you're in the live chat, let it be known. Fist bumps are on offer for everyone, of course. And anything that yous are thrown out there in the live chat, me and Harry will discuss and we'll get our teeth stuck into that as well. Most of these streams on the game week typically go for about an hour or so. If we get into the weeds on a lot of stuff, we'll probably go a little bit longer. But we'll be here for as long as we both find it interesting, basically, and we don't think we're boring you to death. So yeah, fist bumps for Sam D, Lewis West, Joe Ducey, Jonathan Gargi, Gaza, Ryan Wilkinson, Slow Mo Official, Tevin Bascombe, and Nonstick Llama. All the guys were in there ranting and raving with intro music, getting ready for. Honestly, I've just got Harry. I said it on my retweet when the prize pool thing came out, but it is fully party time for me. When you seen the prize pool, when you seen the new announcement, of the updated rewards for that game week with the tickets and the updated prize pools for their competitions, All Star, podium upgrades, all the stuff we've had, what was your kind of what was the thing that grabbed you, and what was the thing that you're most excited for?
To be honest, I guess like everyone's going to be different because it's going to be relative to you, if that makes sense. So, in terms of like if you're asking me personally, then obviously I was gravitating towards the Super Under 23 situation, so D2. That now there's there has been a star rare plus the tier 1 super rare for first place, but now second and third place there's also tier 1s added on to your super rare tier 1s as well.
Yep.
Which is big. And then away from actual like prize, I guess it's not away, the whole the reward sort of being fairer, the improvement, what they've called it, improved prize pool fairness, is kind of what sort of caught my eye, and something that's probably has been needing to be addressed for like a long time. And I'm just glad I don't know how good it's going to be, but the fact that it's just there for me to just read is a step in the right direction, isn't it? What do you think about that one?
Yeah, it's much better for sure, because it's an absolute pain in the arse going across all those grids and zooming in and zooming out and everything. Like it's long overdue. Everyone's been kind of waiting. I've got the thing on page there now. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on medium.com/Sorare. It's the latest posting that I've done. You can find it on their Twitter account and all their social media stuff, the full details of it. But yeah, like it's a lovely breakdown of how everything goes. You can see it all. We've got it on screen now quite easily. You can zoom in if you want to see extra detail, but yeah, it's much easier to glance across. And as you scroll down, it gets a little bit harder, of course it does, but overall it's definitely a much better layout than what we've had before. And on screen now, it might still look quite terrible. The fact that we can get it all in a single screen is an upgrade on what we've had before. And if you're looking at it yourself, it is quite easy to navigate and get around. I was quite happy that in this announcement they do state that our flagship competition, All Star, is where a lot of the buffs are going to happen. Because like I've said on content before, Harry, and I want to hear your kind of thoughts on this, because when we were doing the last lineup builder on Tuesday, you were really hesitant to put a goalkeeper into All Star just for it was almost like you were avoiding it. So anyway, our flagship competition will see another increase in available rewards as its participants and competitiveness continues to rise. It's important for us to make sure all of our competitions have the right balance of challenge and reward, and we are carefully monitoring them all for further improvements. Now, All-Star gets heavily criticised because it's the most stackable division you can play. There's no rules on this whatsoever. They can be under 23, they can be over 32, they could be in Japan, they could be in England, they could be in anywhere, and all things go. What do you think about that being the division, the one that gets the biggest brunt on it, versus like under 23 or a region?
I mean, I get it because I mean the threshold there. So it's obviously going to be the most. I mean, it's naturally inherently the most popular sort of competition on Sorare in the rare division. Like that's probably fair to say because of the threshold. But the fact that now there's just an extended amount of prizes means that like those people that kind of every week are kind of only their goal right now is to just hit threshold, right? Let's say it's like that is their main objective for the weekend is to hit, minimum lower threshold, but upper is obviously the main objective. Now, if there's an extended prize pool, that means that, where 600 people were winning prizes, maybe now 800 do. According to like I'm looking at the 310 now, there's 800 prizes in All-Star Rare. Does that bring down the amount of points it requires to win a card? You'd have to say, yeah, wouldn't you? Effectively, like there's no
Yeah.
other. I don't know by how many. Obviously, but time will tell. But yeah, I think it just entices people to maybe go stronger in there. And like you referenced, I'm one for not doing so. Just because right now I don't have another playing goalkeeper, which I probably should go out and buy really now that there's an extended prize pool. But then yeah, you can win any type of card in there, so I shouldn't be completely put off. But obviously, if my gallery is mainly under 23s, I'm always going to be playing under 23s before anything else, unfortunately, even though the most popular competition, is All-Star Rare. It's not my bread and butter, unfortunately. But for most people, it will be, and it kind of should be. Like, it definitely should be. There's the most reward to gain there if you're a rare player. Yeah, that's probably my thoughts on that. What would you sort of add to that, Quinny?
I think for the first place, I'm just double checking the numbers on. So as of game week 310, it looks like we're going to have over 3,500 limited cards paid out.
Okay.
For this coming weekend, we've got 3,255. So it's an increase of like 300. So it's just shy of 10% on an increase on the
Yeah.
limiteds, which is good because that's the division with the biggest amount of heads in it. Like 10,000
Yeah.
entries are in that every week or so. All-Star Rare's looking like 800 cards. For this coming game week, we're at 760. So that's like
Okay.
a 5%
Wow.
buff, which is, for the amount of numbers we're talking, it's not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And in All-Star Rare Pro is the one I'm the most impressed with. It goes up to 170 cards. Previously, the kind of highs we've had has been like 145, 137, something like that.
Yeah.
This coming game week, we're actually at a high. I was actually really excited for this game week on the basis that there's 152 spots getting paid out this game week. So All-Star Rare Pro, which is, like you said, the one that's probably the most competitive, the most marquee division, it's just getting a slightly bigger buffer on, what is designated as success, getting up to 150th now versus 120th is a huge difference for those. Oh, I still had a good score, but I didn't win anything teams,
Yeah.
So I quite like that
100%.
for those bigger teams that are going into that division. But the big disappointment I actually had was under 23 because that's sitting at 63 cards for this game week. And for this, it goes up to 67. So again, around that fact, it's maybe kind of in line percentage wise with everything else, but we do want to see under 23 Rare Pro, and even the regions champion Euros at 62, Challenger was at 60 something as well, 67 it is. Whereas this game week, again, champ is at 55. So I think that's a decent increase. What was it, 60, 62? That's 7 cards it's gone up by. And Challengers at 65, it's gone up to 67. That's 2 cards, So
Yeah.
I was quite disappointed in that. But some of the stuff that's referenced in this article, which is, again, I'm always look at both sides of the fence kind of perspective on these things. But when they talk about, where is it? Improved prize pools. No, it wasn't this, but was it for the... Yeah. The reception to the specialist and underdog competitions has been incredible. Since we introduced them in the early summer, our data shows that they have been widely appreciated by the community and have given many managers more opportunities to use their scouting skills in fun and engaging ways. We want to further highlight the importance of these competitions in a manager's progression to the top by significantly improving their rewards. Across all scarcities, these changes will begin from 310. So these ones where I've been making content, you've been making content, everyone's been kind of talking about it, and anyone who kind of talks to you now, like, oh, what kind of strat? Everyone's talking about Specialist Limited as being best ROI, pounds per point, and potential upside, and all the rest of it. And
Hmm.
slowly over the last month, we've definitely seen much more of a shift into underdog competitions where people are taking advantage of the no goalkeeper policy, basically, as well as the scarcities opening up more utility to some of these other cards. So I think, with this kind of push that we've got, All-Star getting the biggest buff, and then like Underdog and Specialist and any other kind of gimmicky ones are going to do, like Legends and tickets and whatever. I think I think that kind of helps the kind of top of the game and the
Hmm.
bottom of the game all at once, because increasing the rewards, and it's something that we've spoke about before as well, like increasing the rewards in All-Star to 170 doesn't help the guy that starts today win a prize. That's helping us who's competing every week and putting together really good teams and hustling and grinding out a lineup,
Yeah.
versus Underdog and Specialist, with that is the guy that starts on day one. Anyone who joins on game week 310 has got a great chance of winning versus anyone who started in game week 210. It's much, much,
Hmm.
much, much better now.
100%. Yeah. No, yeah, I do. I see why, Specialist and Underdog are so popular. And, if I just started playing limited like earlier on and kept with it, then that would be something that, I'd be banging on like that. Those would be my priorities every week, I think, because, we're seeing some crazy scores across like All-Star Limited. Like, well, especially this week, I did a video on Tuesday just looking at the scores. It's just obviously the Zenit boys went crazy, and so on and so forth. It's just like, yeah, they're for anybody wanting to play Sorare, I just think those Specialists and Underdogs competitions are just where it's at, really, isn't it? If like, I just don't see any other entry points, to be honest, unless you've got a decent amount of money that you want to throw into like an all-star rare team, but with a goalie, then like I'd probably just say, just go all in on Underdog and Specialist, limited or whatever, the ones where you can win nice rare cards,
Yeah.
which is Specialist, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
Specialist Limited for the coming weekend, we're up to
Yeah.
1,020 limited cards and 80 rares, so
Jeez.
1,100 prizes all told. On
Yeah.
game week 310, Specialist Limited will have 1,500 prizes all told. So an increase of 400 cards, about 35 or
That's
40%. Somebody at home can do
ridiculous.
the maths. It's huge, right? When we look
Yeah,
at
that's nuts.
Specialist Rare, which is the one that gets dicked on the most by everyone, no one likes it. For this coming weekend, we've got 124 rares and 16 supers. So that's 140 cards all told. For this coming from game week 310, it's 180 cards all told. So an increase
Yeah.
of like 40 cards, which is around that kind of a third, 30% kind of mark, give or take on my quick maths. Specialist Super Rare, if anyone cares, this game week it's got 28 cards all told, including a unique. And in this game week, it's going to have 43 rewards all told, including a unique, I would imagine, as well. Maybe
Yeah.
more than one unique, who knows? So, the specialist ones, like, I'm going to say it now, right? Sorry, Harry. Sorry, anyone at home that's listening, right? But
Do
if,
it.
and I'm going to borrow some terminology from some people that know some stuff about this game. If you are not playing Specialist Limited as of game week 310, you are a moron, because that is an incredible division to be going into. If you look at the price of limited cards across the world, forget Europe, across the world, you can buy cards very easily, very cheaply, very quickly. They can play in these divisions. And for now, like we've seen, Harry, we've been here long enough. Whenever these prize pools get updated, the people that strike fast and hard are the ones that will get like some short term, immediate term joy out of the more plentiful pools, as it were.
100%. Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I know it's quite contradictory of me to sort of agree with you in that sense, because I don't play it, but like that's
No.
just because I don't play limited. I'd have to like sort of change my strategy in that way, where like I just don't think I personally need to right now. But if you're just playing limited and you're not playing specialist for whatever reason, then yeah, you need your head checked, I think, because that is just like, I think that's a bit of a monstrosity, to be fair, because there's no better tournament. I know there's a lot of competition in there, like there is anywhere in any division. Like, it's just simple as, if the game was easy to play, I always say it'd be boring. Like, what's the point playing if it was easy?
Yeah.
There needs to be some difficulty, and yeah, it ain't going to be easy to get those rare cards out of that specialist limited, but the fact that they're there is just like, wow, I can aspire to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big thing. It's, for progression is huge. We were crying out for progression for ages, weren't we? You can't win, you couldn't win like rare cards with limited. You couldn't win, you know what I'm saying? Like that weren't a thing for a long time.
Yeah.
That was one big thing that they added. And yeah, and them to keep sort of updating the prize pools and sort of bulking them out. I know it gets to the point where like they won't be able to get any bigger, which is fine.
Yeah.
But at least like they're as big as they can probably get for now. And yeah, there's just no excuse really to sort of not be playing it, really, if you're a limited player / rare.
I think we maybe get another little boost to these, like, I think they're always quite conservative, Sorare, with, because again, this is only this little calendar, this is Game Week 306 we're coming into. This little update calendar is only to Game Week 310, So, like, I think they're just turning the tap on. I think this is them just starting to, right, okay, let's throw out some stuff into Specialist Underdog. The guys are loving it. People are out there, like, Harry, like, that's why I used Sean Newsham's famous phrase earlier, because see, for Specialist cards, you can get guys that will score over 70 points for £15. You can get guys that will quite credibly get between 70 and 80 on an average amount, enough of an average amount of game weeks that probably cost under 50 quid. Where, like if you're then over time just building up a little squad of like 10 guys, you're just picking fixtures and you only need them to come in maybe, let's say, 3 times a season, if that's the cost of the squad, really, for it to be a worthwhile exercise as well as fun, depending on, because it's like, Harry, for accounts like ours that normally like play pro divisions, is like that's the core strategy. There's guys that you would love to buy that make absolutely no sense, but still pull up some good scores once in a while when you maybe knew it was going to happen this weekend. But that guy, why would I spend 0.5 on that super rare? That's absolutely pointless. Or why would I get that rare for 0.2 or 0.15? It does nothing for me. Why would I do it? But the limited's 20 quid. Like, and now, like, with the prizes on offer in that division, because see the ones that I've seen win it, the ones that have been heralded, and obviously in this article they're referencing, they've done some, I've seen people pull divisions out of this, and it's thanks to some of the good work at Andrew Laird and our guys at Sorare Data when these wins do happen, displaying it. I think the PenFeds is really good for that as well, because there's some people who have got like one team in their entire gallery and they've won this division, because they've got like 3 guys in Peru and 1 guy in Mexico and then 1 guy in Norway or something, and they just clutch it, and teams, so I think it's one of those ones. There's always a puncher's chance in that division, and the bigger prize pool that it gets, the more love and attention it gets from Sorare, like the longer it makes sense to have a footprint, because it is, if they're giving it this kind of buff now, if there is more of a buff, like, I don't think this is a division that will get neglected anytime soon, let's say.
No, Sorare can't afford to, I don't think, from that perspective, because if limiteds are the introductory sort of scarcity of the game, why would you, like, as a new player, and you dive into limiteds, and then like so when limiteds first came out, you dove into limiteds, there was no progression, right?
Yeah.
So like, even though everyone still bought them because we were all just like, wow, new cards, new color, whatever, but now the market's a bit more mature. Like, if people are joining now and there isn't a progression, I don't think that is like very enticing, if that makes sense. Like, and there obviously is progression with the specialist thing. So it's like, yeah, I think it'd be very stupid for them to sort of neglect that and sort of sort of wash that away. It should be their bread and butter in terms of like enticing new players, because it's the bottom scarcity of the starter scarcity really of the game. And you can win the best cards in the scarcity up. It's just like unbelievable, really. Like, it is. I know it's hard, but they're possible. Like, people have done it.
Yeah.
You've said everyone, like, people have done it. I remember Laird was saying, I don't know whether this guy won it in underdog or specialist, but somebody won like a messy rare card, and like all he had was the messy rare card in his gallery. Like, he had a load of limited, but there was just a messy rare card there. And it's just like, I think his gallery was worth like 8 ETH and 7 or whatever. I don't know, 6 ETH of it was messy. It's just like, it's just nuts. But that can happen. Like, it's there for people if they want to play it. And yeah, I think that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm buzzing for it as well. And so the next one I had a wee look at from there I just realised we've been going for about 20 minutes. We're probably going to take a while tonight, Harry. Sorry. But
No, you're
underdogs.
fine.
So I'll just kind of have a quick glance over these, right? But like on limited for this coming weekend, we've got 1,100 cards. On game week 310, we've got
Yeah.
1,500. So another 400 cards thrown on top of that. Underdog
Yeah.
rare this weekend, 165. And this one, 200. So an extra 35 cards, which is like, I don't know, maybe about 20%. And super rare, there's 2 rares in 34 supers, so 36 cards all told. And then this one, it's going to be 43, so it's going to buy 7 cards, which percentage-wise is pretty chunky also. So yeah, I think, and again, I've not went into, the ticket ones are still to be decided. Legends I never really dabble in, so I can't really pass comment on that. Underdog 45 on game week 310 will have 750 cards. This game week, Underdog 45 has 300. So that is an increase, what was that, 300 to 750. Wow, that's over double for the Underdog under 45, which is where day one
That's
players
ridiculous.
will be going first,
Yeah,
That's
100%.
phenomenal.
Does it mention? Sorry to interrupt you. Is there anything in the article that explains how the Bundesliga and the La Liga ticket things are going to work?
No, it just says where only those players are eligible. That's all it says about it here.
Oh,
And
okay.
up here, it tells you the game week that the tickets will be. Yeah, so we're delighted to announce 2 competitions in game week 310 that will have real world game tickets as rewards. The Bundesliga Ticket Challenge, offering tickets for games in match day 12 of the Bundesliga, and the La Liga Ticket Challenge, offering tickets for games in match day 13 of La Liga. We hope fans of German and Spanish football are looking forward to this opportunity. This is the first step as we increase our efforts in bridging digital and physical experiences. We'll have more information on these tickets and competitions next week. So yeah, that's why I get that turning of the tap feeling. They're just starting now. That's them. They're like, right, okay, game week 310, 170 cards at the All-Star Rare Pro, 1,500 cards in all these divisions, and a bunch of tickets.
It reminds me of that La Liga week. Remember when we had the launch of La Liga and we
Yep.
had the La Liga ticket cards? Yeah, they were cool. I have one limited in my gallery, and it's a Suso from game. Remember they did like a game week 200 special?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've still got my Suso. I don't think I'll ever sell him, to be honest, because I actually won him. So yeah, don't think he'll be too. I think he's like the most sentimental card I have, to be honest.
So round 13 of La Liga, for anyone who cares, is the 6th of November, give or take, depending on closer to the time the TV schedule. The headline fixtures, we've got Barcelona at home. We've got a Betis-Seville derby. Be a lot of takers for that, I suppose. That'd be quality to go to. Sociedad at home at Valencia would be a good game of football, but by all accounts, where Sociedad is situated, San Sebastian, it's not like going to Spain. It's like going to Brighton or something, or maybe Cardiff. I don't know.
Oh, don't.
Villarreal at home at Mallorca could be a nice holiday kind of vibe event. And otherwise, Atleti are at home to Espanyol, the Madrid-Barcelona derby that no one thinks about. So there's so I don't know. I think the Seville derby would be the El Gran derby would be the game everyone would want to go to for that. And in Germany, that's Bundesliga 2, sorry. In Bundesliga, what was it? Match day 12 then it will be?
Yeah.
Match day 12. I'm going to guess it's the same weekend. It is not. It's actually the weekend before that. Headline games, we've got Bayern at home to Mainz, so that's going to be like 8-0 or something for the Bayern stackers. We've got Leipzig against Leverkusen, that's like a 4 each game or something, so that would be, I'd love to go to Leipzig at home, so I'm actually interested in that. Frankfurt at home at Dortmund would be a good Bundesliga match to attend, I would say. And outside of that, I'm not too sure. Berlin number 1, the stadium, the fans for Union are meant to be fantastic. Number 2, I know the city of Berlin comes highly rated and reviewed also. So Union at home to Gladbach, that could be a game for the football tourist in us all, perhaps. And Schalke apparently are a very good game to attend. I know a few people have been to Schalke, but I know they're not a great team necessarily. But for stadium and drinking a beer and all that kind of German football stuff, Schalke's meant to be a pretty decent venue. So yeah, interesting game weeks to win tickets for. I definitely would fancy El Gran Derby, or I could maybe try and do both of them, Harry. Oh, I might try and win both of them. Imagine I could do that. Go to Leipzig.
Huge.
We should both do it. Would you be up for it? Would you go with it if we got?
I would if I won something. Yeah,
mate,
let's do it.
Let's get some limited cards on you, Harry.
No, I will. I think I do remember. Yeah, like for things like that. Like that gets me excited. Like I like the thought of going and doing a bit of research, and buying a few limiteds and trying to compete for tickets. Like that makes me excited. Like, I'll be honest, it does. I know they can't. Well, can they do that every week? Who knows? Probably not. But they probably should be able to somehow.
Yeah.
You
Could be
know,
once
like
a
they
month
should.
for like the division.
Yeah, once a month. Yeah, 100%. And that makes me want to keep my cards as well. Then, you know what I'm saying? And then it makes me want to add to my collection. Like, they're the things they really need to double down on now. Like, give people reasons to buy cards. I know that's stupid, but it's not. That's the fundamental. Like, that's their business model. Like, selling cards. So, like, you know, they need to give people a good reason to do so. And of course there's already reasons to do so. Don't get it twisted. But like, just like those little side hustles, like the little side games, side quests, whatever you want to call them. They're just fun. They're fun to play. And yeah, I would definitely get involved if I will get involved in the La Liga and Bundesliga, and hopefully meet you in Leipzig.
There's a bunch of people in the chat. I'm buzzing for it, Harry. There's a bunch of people in the chat. I'm definitely overdue some fist bumps and catching up with some comments. So we'll do that real quickly. Catch up with everyone, see what their thoughts on all this stuff are that we've been babbling on about, and then we'll have a look at the fixtures for the game week. We've already kind of looked at the prize pools for this game week in a roundabout way, so there's no point like scrutinising them again. And then we'll go through teams and all that good stuff, Harry. Unless there was anything else you wanted to throw out about the prize, anything that you wanted to say about them or anything?
Not really, man. I mean, just one quick one. I just saw the under 23 super rare. It goes up by like 10%. I know that's not a lot that's 3 cards effectively, but better than a kick in the teeth, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Better kick in the balls for sure. Right, let's see, where did I leave off? Joe, do say, what about the new Sorare data feature with rewards? Now, when I seen this post come out, I don't know if you've seen it, Harry, but they're doing community predicted lineups to add to this whole drama that's going on between Play Sharper and Sorare Data. And as soon as I seen that tweet go out earlier today, I was just like, oh, there's blood in the streets. That's it. The gloves are off now. And it's like, we're doing this for free. We're going to give the community prizes. And it's like, oh, this is, ice cream van wars.
Getting tasty, mate. It's getting tasty out here.
So, are you going to use it? Have you looked at it at all?
I've seen like screenshots. I'll be honest, I don't know how to get on. Like, I'm on Sorare Data now. Oh, wait, I do know. Game Week Center, and then it's community lineups. Yeah. No, yeah, I'll definitely get involved in this. 100%.
I'll put it on screen just so everyone can see it. So,
yeah,
SO5, Game Week Center, and then community lineups. Oh, nice. I'm going to build a Celtic team since everyone asks me.
Yeah.
I don't have Celtics here. China Championship.
Oh, I'm on the wrong game week. That's why.
Oh, so am I, probably. Yeah. Oh, cool. Nice. Right, let me see. I'll do this to kind of show people how it works. So what the idea is you go in, you pick a team, you forecast the starting 11, and then I don't want to do St. Mirren, I want to do Celtic. You forecast the starting 11, and apparently there'll be some sort of prizes and stuff. So because like how do I? Oh, okay, so you go over here to your prediction and you select if they're in or on the bench and all that stuff. So I think, who cares about him? Seagrass, they'll be on the bench. Carter Vickers starts. Taylor probably starts, as does Hitate and Jens. Starfelt will be out. Welsh probably on the bench. Rowson, I think Rowson could start. McGregor will start. Turnbull will be on the bench. Haksabanovic might start, by the way, as well, which is why I'm not playing Maeda. Forrest will make the bench. Abelgard will make the bench. McCarthy won't be in the squad. Ideguchi won't be in the squad. Abada is probably on the bench. Jota starts. Kyogo starts. Dyson, I'll go with Dyson, and then Giakoumakis on the bench. And then submit. So there we go. It says I've only got 9 starters. Oh, because there's no Bernabe card and there's no Matt O'Reilly card. That's why.
Yeah.
And who else then am I missing? Jota, Kyogo, Juranovic. Aye. So that's it. No Juranovic, no O'Reilly. Fair enough. There we go. That's the team. So I don't know if you can check. Like, how do you check the? Oh, I'm not sure. I'm going to take off that tab. There we go. And then
so you can hover over like other people. Like, it'll tell you how many people have picked that specific selection, if that makes sense. I think.
Got you.
Mine's not loading right now, so I'm not sure what's going on. But it's a really cool feature. I think it's fantastic. Definitely.
I want to know if that question mark, what does that mean? If it means like you're not sure, or they're questionable, or they maybe I don't know what that question mark symbol really means. So I've designated
I'm
people
not
as like, I think
sure.
they might start is the question mark. Like, oh, they're on the fence. They might start. They might be on the bench. Because I think with that icon being in the middle, that's what it's meant to be. But it's the only thing I'm unclear on. But otherwise, this is really slick, really easy. And I've updated it now. So what has the tab on that said show only players with cards? I took that off and updated. Forget St Mirren. Updated Celtic. So So how do you check it? Sorry, is there a way of checking how the teams are built or whatever?
You
Celtic.
can like hover over. I'm trying for some reason my screen won't even. I've just got a white screen right now, but I'm sure you can like hover over and it'll tell you like a number. So like 4 people have said that Hatate is going to start or X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, you
If
can go
that
over
makes
each
sense.
individual player, but it doesn't give you a lineup as such.
No, I don't think it puts it in like a
Interesting.
lineup for you.
I'm going to check this for New York City because that's one of the biggest question marks I've got coming into this weekend, and I've not had time to catch up with my NYC podcasts. So let's have a wee peek at this. Right, so Sean Johnson, the community says 108 predictions. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Harry. So let's see. Santi, everyone reckons he probably starts. Andrade, a lot of people reckon he starts, as do I. Magno, Heber, they reckon Heber starts as well. Interesting. They say there's not many been done, so it's like it could just be MD, so it's hardly it's the difference with play sharpers, it's like vetted data, it's people that know their shit and putting their reputation against it.
100%.
Whereas this is just me and you. I could just go into Zenit and go, the reserve keeper's going to play, and get like 10 votes on it, and cause a star. Who knows something? So that was only the first comment. Sorry. What about the new? Anybody want to trade a rare Manny or a De Jong for trade value? From Callan Popescu. He's in the live chat if anyone's interested in chatting with him. For a second, I thought you had Lucas Hernandez on the stream. No, that's HarryTrades. Noah Brook, good to see you. Fist bump. Jonathan Gargi, have you guys seen the new? We just went through it. That can cause a lot of problems. Feel like copying. Yeah, it can cause problems because it can just be anyone that does it. Hendo, fist bump. Arit, Sivan Dajara, fist bump. Good to see you, my man. Dom, good to see you. Fist bump, my man. Long time no see, Dom. I hope you're keeping well, and I hope you'll meet me in Germany if I win a ticket. Anyone seen J and K League not reporting scores? I fucking hate J and K League for this shit, man. They're a pain in the arse. Like, I'm getting to that point. I was watching Champions League last night, Harry, with Celtic, and honestly, obviously, as well, I'm quadruple obviously in this, right? I'm biased, right? And also, I paid more attention than anyone. I think Callum McGregor is the most shaded player by Opta in the world, man. Like, I think in the first 10 minutes of that game last night, I'm like, brilliant. He must be on 2 interceptions by now or something, And I looked at his stats about 20 minutes into the game, and it's like possession 1-0. Like, he's not been credited with any description of, collecting a loose ball or winning a duel or a tackle. He'd done like 2 or 3 things in the first 15 minutes, and I thought, that might be an interception, brilliant, or that might have been a tackle. But no credit of any description. So I'm going to figure out, and I've been meaning to do so, but I've not had time. But I'm lodging like a real formal complaint with Opta about this. Like, I'm emailing them and shit, and hopefully I'm right. And
they must know you have the
looked at
unique
a
or
bit
something. I reckon the guy knows you've got the unique, and he's just trying to stitch you up big time.
Maybe he's a Rangers fan. Jonathan Gargi's got an Israel stack ready for game week 308 with international football. Great opportunities for those galleries that are about to do so, and I wish you all the best of luck with that, Jonathan. Mickey Fu, the only problem for me at least is the huge volatility and limited prices, and it needs investing every week if you want to play specialist hardcore. I just want to play it in the division. I totally get that, Mickey Fu, right? But the one thing I'd say to that is, like, when a guy gets to like 10, 15 quid, I don't give a fuck how volatile his price is. If I'm buying a guy for 15 quid, he turns into 8 quid. If I'm playing him every week and he's capable of getting over 60 points, like, I don't care. Like, it's 15 quid spent, like, and again, that's part of that. Like, you may said something earlier, Harry, and they've set a wee member berry off me, right? My kids, for anyone who's interested, probably nobody, right? But I'll tell you anyway, are 6 and 4. Right, and the 6-year-olds in primary 2, and the thing, would you believe, is coming around in the playground and all that jazz. The in thing at the moment, Pokemon cards, right? So anyway, Mendo gets Pokemon cards in the house by like hand-me-downs from cousins and shit like that. And he's going into school every day, like giving them away and trading. He doesn't know what he's doing and all the rest. It's just kids and cards with pictures on them. Anyway, long story short, that's been going on for about a month. And then I said to the wife last night, I was like, listen, I know where we get cards in Glasgow, right? We're going to go and we'll go get some and we'll have some real fun with it, right? So I took the missus to the shop this morning. For anyone who's in the Glasgow area, it's called Static Games. You'll probably know it's on Parney Street. It's quite famous. Anyway, we went in there. Long story short, I bought a box of blisters, 38 fucking packets of Pokemon cards.
Wow, fair play, man.
How much would you expect that to cost? Bearing in mind I've not bought cards in 20 years, so I had no idea.
I'm a big Pokemon card collector, but,
Oh, really?
but definitely the old. Yeah, I've got a big collection.
Oh wow, cool.
But yeah, nothing like. Yeah, no. To be honest, I don't collect any of the new ones. It's all the old ones. But yeah,
okay.
If you want a price on boosters,
brand new,
I think
the new
one
set.
packs. Yeah,
38
packs got to be £4. They have to be.
Okay.
Minimum each. So what's that? Fucking £150. Let's say.
115. I got it for.
Okay.
The guy reckons there'll be 130 next week. Yeah, it's kind of more in line with what you're saying. Because I think these things, like, as they sell out, the price goes up.
Interesting.
I think that's
okay.
It. But that guy, he was explaining it to my missus because she used to like Pokemon back in primary school and whatever. Anyway, the point of me explaining this, right, is partly in my attitude with, like, it's 15 quid for a card. Who gives a fuck if it's volatile? This is my attitude. It's not financial advice, of course. But he was demonstrating to the missus what you get in a pack, right? So you burst a pack open and blah, blah, blah. You get commons and rares and whatever, right? And at the very back of the Pokemon card, there's this white card and it's got a QR code on it and a URL address and whatever. And what he tells us is, you now go online, put in the code, scan the QR code, and this pack is now on your tablet. And you can add it to your collection. You can play people online. You can do fucking blah, blah, blah. Any number of things you can imagine. They're trying to NFT their stuff. They're trying to reverse NFT it almost, you know. It's taking those games into the interweb. People know you own it somehow because it's a QR code from a pack, you know. But again, equally, after that, I'm buying that for my kid. But then I'm just like, give me £10 of Magic cards. I don't know if you know what Magic is, right? Again, it's just another thing for another day. And I don't care. I opened the pack up. It was a bit of fun. I've still got them here. I actually thought some of them were quite cool. I got like an art one. I think art is coming into these things more and more. So I got a mad art thing. I don't know if anyone cares. I'm not going to spend much longer talking about this. But point being, is this is a recreational activity. It's numbered as well. So it's like, what is that? 70 out of 81, which is quite cool. For this little piece of art shit and whatever. Anyway, I had good fun with my tenner. I might never look at these fucking things again. But that's what adults do with their records. So anyway, to play the game and to know like fixtures, and I like this guy, but why would I buy his rare? 0.15 is fucking, that's just wasting money, or buying a super or whatever. So that's kind of where I'm at with in terms of Specialist Limited, because the L15 under the L15 under 40 cards
L15
will be circumstantial. And like, see, this week I'm not playing, and how mad have I been for Specialist, and listen to how much I'm talking about it tonight. I am not playing Specialist Limited this game week because I don't have any L15 under 40s I'm excited about, and I'm not really motivated enough to go and fish them out. But what those limiteds are, you know, I've just subsequently it rafts down, so some of my other teams are a bit stronger. Like I maybe try and keep a card normally for a limited to buff it up. That's now filtering back in somewhere else and whatever. So just because that's like the strategy, and again we all get caught in with this with Sorare, and I think you being under 23, Harry, you'll have felt this firsthand. You don't always have a great game week, number one, in anticipation. Sometimes the game week opens and you know, this is a dud. There's nothing here for me. You know it right away. And no matter what card you're playing with, that's the same. Sometimes if your gallery's smaller, that happens more often than you would probably like for it to be. And equally, when you've got a bigger gallery, those weeks are fewer and further between, kind of idea. But I think with the outlook on limited, like I think, like honestly, for some of the cards that you can pick up for under 50 quid, I think not having a footprint that you can't, because like, let's say like for Mickey Fu, who's with us in the live chat, or you, Harry, right? It's Bundesliga and La Liga now, right? There is a set of tickets that they could offer that you would maybe be really excited about. And the thought of going from 0 to a full team for one competition is always a bit of a whitey. Like, why would the fuck would I do that? It's such a waste of energy and resources. But if you already have 3 cards lying around, you've already got one. You've already got, which is not probably a good card to use, but you've still got one lying around. Then getting 1 or 2 to plug in isn't much of a task. You know, you can spend your pocket money on it and go and get Ymar and Jordan Morris for 30 quid combined and whatever. On you go and have a shot at it. So yeah. You also, this is from Joe Ducey, you also don't have to worry about XP or captains and specialists. Yep, so you're not getting bullied out by bigger cards. and it's easier to move in and out because, again, specialist players don't care about XP. So, like, you know, you selling a card with low XP isn't exactly a hindrance in the secondary market. Some people won't even care. So that's a great point, Joe. I love that. I won a Pablo Ruiz rare from Specialist. Congratulations. I think that was quite recently. Shrew1886, fist bump. Good to see my man. Football Economist, fist bump. Good to see you also. Absolutely love the return of the ticket rewards. Stick some signed jerseys in there too. He says, went to Betis Seville last season with the tickets he won. It was incredible. Top 3 atmosphere he's ever been to. So that comes highly recommended from Football Economist. Drex, fist bump. Good to see you also. And I think my life. Where's Drex, man? He's just disappeared. Am I tripping? I could have swore just seen Drex. Oh no, there he's there. My chat just jumped.
Yeah.
I think Abada will start against St Mirren, says Jonathan. I don't. Mickey Fu Laird talked about on their live stream, and he said they would look at having full lineups. Okay, cool. Lots of rotation in NYCFC. Yeah, but I think there was lots of rotation going into that game. Look, no Sean Johnson is actually what I'm most. Actually, that's what the thing I'm most concerned about. Because Sean Johnson obviously is a big goalkeeper for me, but on top of that, I actually have 3 Barazas. So if Sean Johnson doesn't play, I'm actually up 2 goalkeepers. Which is not an awful predicament to find myself in, I must admit. So yeah, let's go and double check. Do people think... I'm probably going to go listen to the NYC podcasts just to go and see what they're saying, why you missed the match and whatever, because I still don't really know that. But 100% of 8 predictions have Sean John in. Interesting. I'll need to find out why he missed the game. Matthew, Quinny the Hero, thanks very much. And I don't know if it's you, Matthew, right? But somebody, and I don't know if any's are ever bored enough, right? Some days, I forget who it is, I should really give them credit. I will give them credit in an upcoming video, right? But someone, Harry's been in my comments in my YouTube channels, right? And every comment, I fucking love them for it. They give me they use a different kind of Quinn football name, if you know what I mean. So
Okay.
I cannot remember half of them, but they're all fucking toppers. The last one he hit me with was like Andres Quiniesta.
Nice.
Yeah. So he'll say something nice, but he'll call me something like that. And he's a fucking legend. I don't know if it's you, Matthew. I think it is a Matthew. But if it is you, you're a hero. Thanks for joining us. Evan Crightley, evening fellas, fist bump to you. Do you think the ETH 2.0 merge will affect the market? It doesn't seem to have done today. I've not really looked at the market, to be honest. Harry, do you have any commentary on the ETH merge?
Not really, no. It kind of went all like I honestly didn't read into it as much as I probably should have. I knew it was coming for a long time, to be honest, and it was like a massive deal. But yeah, I know the price has gone down a little bit today. It definitely hasn't risen on the back of it, which I think was quite expected. I don't think this was. It's weird with crypto. Like it's not as if like good technological news doesn't equal like price like
Yeah.
like increases, if that makes sense, for whatever reason. But yeah, no, nothing too much from me on that side of things.
Fair enough. I'm quite agnostic to it all as well. I'm not really up to speed with most of it at the best of times. But I know that from the Sorare stuff they've put out before, the whole layer 2 thing, it's all kind of like the dreaded forward plan for all this stuff happening. So like in terms of integration and how the system works and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I didn't pay much mind, to be honest. Jonathan Gargi, I already see how people will be manipulating the market with the new SD tool. 10 people can buy a limited goalkeeper, project he's going to start, and sell for profit. Yeah. You've got yourself a wee hustle there, Jonathan. Fling Flong, Pokemon is evil. Keep them away from it. I'll try my best.
I disagree.
Well, I bought that box. There's 38 packs in it. And see, once we open it, I said to the missus, she's like, you're fucking mental. I'm like, listen, if there's any big cards come out of that, they're getting punted, right? And this thing is going to pay for itself. And then they're going to have like a year's supply of shite cards that clutter up all these packs that no one cares about, and I don't need to think about them again. And I'm going to have some fun opening some packs with my kids, you know, because that's just life,
mate. My best memories as a kid is opening mate. I was a Yu-Gi-Oh fanatic.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Remember, yeah, like I was actually like I used to play competitively as a kid and stuff, and I collected Pokemon cards as well, but I never used to play the trading game. But yeah, I was really deep into Yu-Gi-Oh, like worryingly deep.
Yu-Gi-Oh was like I never got deep into Yu-Gi-Oh. I barely know anything about it, but I love the idea of like it was a cartoon about a card game, and then you got the cards. Like you could actually like, you know, because you're like when you're a kid, everyone watches wrestling, and what do you do at playtime? You wrestle. You know,
Yeah.
everyone watches
Yeah.
football, and then what do you do at playtime? Everyone goes plays in football. But then if
Yeah.
that's the thing you're into, you can actually really do the thing. You know, like you can actually play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Unbelievable.
So I
Yeah.
kind of had an appreciation for it without actually following it in that sense.
100%.
Same boat here for Joe Ducey. Skipping specialist due to the lack of liquidity under 40s at the moment. Okay, fair enough. Hope they do MLS in the future. I would love an MLS ticket giveaway. That would be fucking fantastic for me. Like, I would definitely get involved in that, Joe Ducey. Matthew as well. Have you had a look into TFC? I'm guessing that's Toronto Football Club. Quinny, very interesting project. No, I've almost took the year off on MLS. You know, even having card, I've barely watched any MLS and compared to years gone by. So I probably will need to get back up to speed. I think we're gonna have a great international break for like getting up to speed, like because we've had so many stuff come on quite short notice, Harry. Like D2s, Norway, Croatia, fucking Ecuador, Peru, fucking whatever. So having that like period we're gonna have off, like there will be fuck all to do for a while. So it'll be a good chance to go. Let's have a look at La Liga 2. Let's see what's going on in here. Is there anything, you know? And TFC and some MLS stuff that might be on my to-do list for that. They started Morales at the midweek. I wouldn't expect him to start at the weekend. I'm with you on that, Joe, to say. Matthew, no, that's not him. I'm the one from the Mire. Oh, yeah. He's from my neck of the woods. If I can ask, how much points is added to a defender if he keeps a clean sheet? 10. And he also doesn't forfeit points for conceding goals. So it's like a 14-point swing, basically. Morales and Callan scored the goals. Yeah. That I can't use it. Yeah, I know. Absolute nightmare. It's always the way. Callum McGregor scored his goal in the cup game as well. So there's nothing worse than when that comes back to bite you on the bum. But as let's call all up to date, Harry, with the live chat. I'm going to put the fixtures back on right now. When we've done the chat, when we've done this stuff before, we normally spend like a good chunk going through the fixtures. Now I think we've maybe taken up enough of the good people's time with the latest and greatest of developments. So we'll have a scan through the kind of primary divisions and have a look at any potential big hitting fixtures that we might want to avoid or lean into, depending on what cards we're talking about. And then, we'll have a look at some lineups and, anything else from the crowd, we'll take that on board too. So Bundesliga 2, again, I don't think any of us are really up to speed enough to really call this in any way, but Dusseldorf-Hamburg is a big enough match. In terms of like the league, it's two bigger teams. In China, we're not really too worried about that cards-wise. Liga MX, like I don't really know where this division is at, but again, I don't really see a lot of the clubs I see playing each other. I know their names, so that makes me think there's a lot of like well-matched up teams playing each other. Universitario against a team I've never heard of. They'll probably win that quite well. J-League, right. Kawasaki away to Kashiwa. Not an easy game. Yokohama are charging down the title. I know that much at the moment. So they'll probably put out a strong team, even though they played midweek. I would say if a Japanese team is going to rotate less than what they normally do, it's probably in a title run-in. So it's probably a good time to have some Yokohama cards. Otherwise, nothing else really comes to me here. Anything for J-League for you, Harry?
I'm inclined to be like have to play my Tanny because he's my only super only super under 23 keeper, and I mean he's at home, but
Urawa are not in great form now, by the way. It must be said.
They're not, but they just seem to score loads of goals, and it just pisses me off. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
like they just do. But yeah, he could very well get a clean sheet. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not holding my hopes very high for that. But other than that, no, I'm going to refrain from playing any Raysol players because they've been absolutely shocking recently. And then, I might be able to play my Sekikawa somewhere, maybe an underdog against Sagan Tosu. Yeah, but I don't know if I love that. And he's always a rotational risk, even though he started the last couple, to be fair. There's always like Play Sharp always has him down at 70%.
Sure.
But yeah, no, just Tanny, basically.
14 games in MLS. The first one on top of the list looks like a bruising waiting to happen. LAFC at home to Houston Dynamo. If you have LAFC cards, it's probably going to be fireworks in this game, I would imagine. I can't remember where the league table sits for LAFC in particular. I know they're riding high, but let me just go and check.
They've got to be up there, yeah.
The particulars of it. I know Houston are dead and buried. Houston are right down the bottom, no chance of anything. And 61 points. Yeah, they're still fighting against Philly for supporter shield. So every point, and what's the goal difference? Plus 46 for Philly, and it's plus 29. So 7 goal swing over the next 3 games, and obviously they've got some points to catch up. And LAFC are a team that do fancy themselves some goals, and this is a game they can maybe get some. So potentially a huge game for LA. The other team we were just mentioning there, Philly, they're away to Atlanta. Atlanta are everyone's favourite pain in the arse. They just never seem to fucking, like, they're sitting in ninth, man. They're still trying to get into the playoffs by the skin of their teeth. They still have the ability. They've got a game in hand on everyone, and they're 3 points behind, but it's not impossible. And yeah, so it's a 6-pointer for Atlanta. So I wonder
And
how that will
Thiago
go.
Almada's on fire.
Is Almada back on form as well? Interesting. That'll be good for him at home as well. They're always better at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium if they don't get people injured.
Yeah.
The Revs in Montreal feels like a one each kind of game. The Quakes dead and buried. Dallas are still trying to secure their playoff spot. They're riding high, but mathematically I don't think it's all done. Galaxy, Sounders, and the Rapids are outside the playoff spots and traditionally do get into these spaces. So over the last 3 games, again, I've not went into the phonetics of all the fixtures and who's playing who and all the rest of it, but I don't think Dallas will be thinking it's job done at this point. They've still wanting a couple of points on the board to see themselves safe. And I know it's away, and in MLS we do try and avoid away ties, but San Jose are dead and buried and been quite dreadful this year. 2 of those teams we just mentioned are playing each other, Galaxy and Rapids, so that will be a 6-pointer in the race for the last playoff spot. DC, who are rotten, against Phil Neville, so that's Rooney versus Neville. Wonder what that means. DC United are rock bottom, going nowhere, and Miami have a sniff for the playoffs, so there'll be no favours from Phil to Wayne here. Columbus and Portland will be a tightly contested match. I'm just looking now for teams that are dead playing somebody that's decent. Chicago and Charlotte, how's that sitting? So Charlotte have had they're only 11th. That's quite surprising. They're actually, they're both of them are nowhere near. We've got the New York Derby. We've got Orlando against Toronto and Vancouver at home to Seattle. So a lot of 6-pointers going on this weekend. A lot of 6-pointers.
Yeah, some tough games. Some tough games to call there. I wouldn't like to call many of them, to be honest.
No. Have you got much MLS in your gallery at the moment, Harry?
No, not well. I have a Jesus Ferreira, which I am going to be utilizing this week, like you mentioned, with the whole San Jose situation. I think they drew last night, or maybe the night before San Jose. But
San Jose
inherently,
played midweek. Dallas didn't.
So that's why I didn't have any MLS playing midweek, to be fair. But yeah, obviously Dallas this weekend. I'm hoping Ferreira is going to be firing on all cylinders, albeit away. But Dallas can do damage away. They can score multiple away, and I've seen it done all season. So yeah, he's my only one really that I want to utilize. Everyone else is either a bench player or just out of favor, to be fair.
Fair enough. All my cards basically are playing each other in that New York Derby, so I don't really have much else going on outside of that. In the Bundesliga, at a quick glance, Bayern away to Augsburg. We're all expecting Bayern to win by 2 or 3 goals, but Augsburg are not mugs. They have decent players, and I do think this is a good Bayern win, but I don't think it's like a 5-0 game or something like that. Particularly against Barca, they were quite lackluster. So let's see how that goes. Frankfurt and Stuttgart, it's not really much to comment on. Same with Gladbach and Leipzig, quite high. I don't think the Bundesliga has any easy games. We do have I forget the name of this derby, but I think it's maybe the Black Forest derby or something like that. I forget what it's, the Gelsenkirchen derby or something, I don't know. But it's Dortmund at home to Schalke. Schalke are, I don't know, they're getting a little bit better week by week. Dortmund are kind of up and down, as they always are. But this feels like a game where it's either 3-0 Dortmund or it's 0-0.
I saw just a random one. That Malik Thiaw, the move to Milan.
Yeah.
I saw somewhere that Schalke have no centre backs right now or something, or no fit centre backs. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what that sort of tells you about this weekend, but yeah, apparently they're really struggling at the back.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. Well, that's going to be 5-0 Dortmund then. Wow, I didn't know that. That's phenomenal. We've got, I think this is going to be Colombia. I don't think anyone's interested in that. La Liga 2, again, I don't think anyone's going to be up to speed enough to care about our synopsis on this league. Same with the K-League. It's almost, the split's about to happen. I think the season's almost at an end. There's nothing really going on here for me. You've got some players in Korea as well, Harry, don't you? Are you using any of them?
I might use my Seo Young-woo that is playing for Ulsan at home. He didn't play midweek, so that's a good indication that he was rested and should be fully fit for this weekend. They're at home, like I said. On paper he should score well, but Ulsan just have been leaking goals, which is just not ideal for a defender card under the new matrix. But he can still score well. with his attacking prowess and stuff. So yeah, no, I will utilize him definitely.
Now, Serie A is probably the division that I'm always the most keen to look for and see who's got the bully fixture, because Serie A is quite a divide between the haves and the have-nots. You know, there's always like 3 or 4 teams at the bottom of Serie A that if they're away in the San Siro or they're away to Juventus or something, they're going to get beat 4 or 5-0. So it's always just seeing who in Italy has that fixture, who's playing, you know, the rubbish team of the year. And I don't think, like, in or away to Udinese, I don't think I'd put Udinese in that category, you know. Roma against Atalanta is not in that category at all. It's probably going to be, I don't know, I was going to say Lazio. Lazio are definitely get the best fixture here away to Cremonese, newly promoted. I think one of their best signings was Jack Hendry, and they got somebody else who's kind of halfway okay. Daniele Maldini maybe or somebody, but nothing amazing. Monza have spent big domestically. They're at home to Juventus, and Juventus are kind of crap now, or they're pretty crap now, so it's not really a great fixture. And then it's AC Napoli. So I don't think Serie A has a deadly fixture in here, because I don't think Lazio is a team that many people go hard for.
No, 100%. There's no fixtures there that I would be gunning to play my players in. I know, like, obviously Juventus' name holds a lot of weight, but yeah, they haven't been great this season. But does that mean that, you know, obviously they just lost midweek? They need to bounce back basically, or the manager's like looking pretty desperate, isn't he, in terms of like getting something from his players right now? But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Juve go and win that game a couple to nil, because they've been so bad, if that makes sense. But other than that, yeah, I'm not liking any of those fixtures. Roma, Atlanta, and then you've got the Milan Napoli game. Yeah, no, I'd be avoiding if possible.
In La Liga, I think it's a kind of similar story. We've got Valencia against Celta Vigo. Again, none of these teams are particularly attractive or popular on Sorare, but there you go. It's a good fixture to watch, probably. Villarreal, Sevilla, a kind of clash of the Europa League heroes. So again, it's probably not a great game if you've got some of these cards, because they've been playing midweek and then they're playing each other at the weekend. Yeah. So let's see how that goes. Barca have got the best fixture quite easily in the division at home to Elche, but can you predict the Barca team is the main issue with this, I think.
Yeah.
The Madrid derby,
and
then Sociedad Espanyol. Sorry, Harry.
No, I was just saying that's like what you alluded to there with the whole Barca situation. That's going to be my crux of my problems this weekend, I think, because it's easy enough just to go off, play sharper, isn't it? But ultimately, like, it's just someone's opinion at the end of the day, and it's just like, you know, you can't take it for gospel. Like, don't get me wrong, there's some valuable information out there. Like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't like follow it, but like, yeah, just don't get your hopes up. Basically, you know, when you see an 80% or whatever it is on a player, because they can very well not start, especially a team like Barcelona playing against a team like Elche. They could play anybody in that midfield. You could probably predict the front three, I would say, but I don't think, predicting that midfield and even the back line could be really tough.
Yeah, I'll make you right on that for sure. We've just got a comment in here from Matt, the bricklayer. He's got half a Lazio stack for the weekend, so he's going hard for it. Harco, if I submit a lineup for specialist now with an under 40 player, but they play tonight and they score good, will he be cancelled? No, because the way Sorare do it is it's like the current game week that's running doesn't influence the score, if that makes sense. So like, if they're L15 under 40 when the game week opens, they're in. Basically, and it will tell you if it changes, and it'll let you know if your lineup's cancelled because it's no longer eligible. But yeah, in Spain we've then also got the Madrid derby, Sociedad Espanyol, Betis Girona might be a fun game to watch, you know, just with the players on show and whatever. But otherwise, yeah, La Liga there's nothing jumping out here as a great fixture. Serie B, if anyone cares about that, I'm sorry you're not going to get much intel from us. Jupiler Pro, Antwerp, great fixture at home at Serang. That should be a clean sheet and a victory with a goal or two, you would think. Serang have been definitely one of the whipping boys in that division. Genk, no midweek fixtures. Ghent play midweek and haven't been that great as I'm told. So maybe a good game for Genk, but it's not one to bank on. Bruges, riding on the edge of a lightning bolt, as the Sorare Odyssey would say. They're away to Liège, who, you know, are under Ronnie Dyla, maybe getting a wee bit of fighting spirit. I don't think they've signed particularly well, but is that an easy game for Bruges? I wouldn't quite say so, but it probably will be.
No, they probably win though, but yeah, I don't know if it's easy per se.
And I like to home at Kroikik, looks okay. And Eupen hosting RUSG, who will be playing in the midweek, so maybe who knows what happens there with rotation or whatever. And Salzburg, they are hosting one of the big teams in Austria this week, so Rapid Vienna will be going to Salzburg, and it might probably, hopefully, won't be a a Salzburg route this weekend. Maybe it's a tight affair. Maybe they lose. You get any Salzburg cards for yourself, Harry, this week?
I don't, mate, to be fair. No, I used to have a Lucas Gorner, but I was too impatient, to be honest, and sort of put that into a Daniel Looking that was on fire at the time and kind of still is. So yeah, no, I wouldn't. I don't want to get my teeth stuck into that Salzburg rotation. I know they've been less rotation-y than like they probably like feared, but I just don't fancy it, to be honest. It's just not worth my time personally. It's just too much of a headache. I try and limit headaches where possible. And going into Salzburg is definitely a headache.
We've also got Midtjylland. They're playing Copenhagen. So if you're planning on using your Midtjylland cards this week, it's probably not a great game for you. After they just got, I think they got a 0-0 draw at home to Sevilla. The Europa League fixture we were talking about. 0-0 draw. No away goals for Copenhagen. They'll be going into the second leg. Pretty confident. And on that note, I seen a really great video of before kickoff, the Copenhagen fans going into the away end and giving the Sevilla fans free beer.
I saw it. Yeah, I saw
cool.
it. Yeah.
We need to have a competition for Copenhagen, I think. The Brazilian League's on.
Really
Again,
awesome.
I'm not going to be able to give anyone any commentary on that. In Turkey, we've got Istanbul BB, who will be playing football today or tonight. They're at home to Andre Pirlo's team. I don't know if that's good or bad. Adama are away to Antalyaspor. Galatasaray are at home to the informed Konyaspor. Everyone's loving the defensive players of this team. So against Galatasaray, who have Icardi, who have Juan Mata, they signed somebody else, I forgot who. I want to say Cavani. I don't think it was Cavani. They signed Icardi, Mata, and Mertens. So I don't know if this is going to be a great game for Konyaspor cards. Besiktas have got the best fixture in Turkey. They're away, or ideally they'd be at home, but Istanbul, this team are the one that get plugged by everybody at the moment. So Besiktas cards are definitely ones to be playing. Fenerbahce are at home, which is always good in Turkey. Trabzonspor are at home, which is always good in Turkey as well. So decent fixtures there, I think. Rosenborg are at home to Lillestrøm. Lillestrøm are traditionally one of the better teams in Norway as far as that goes to anyone. So it's not a game you'd expect them to tank over. Argentina, we had the derby last week, so we won't have that this week. Boca at home at Huracan, and River are away to San Lorenzo. Championship, I don't think enough of us care enough about that. AZ versus Ajax and PSV versus Feyenoord. This is one of the things that I thought for this week that really throws Challenger wide open, because like probably out of those four teams, two of them will do well, but who will it be, and what will the players do well enough as a result, or what players will do well as a result is the question, Harry.
Yeah, that'll be tough. I mean, I'm still I'll be still trying to deploy my timber where possible. I still think Ajax probably win that AZ game. But yeah, the PSG final game's a weird one. I wouldn't. Yeah, like you said, two teams are obviously going to come out. Well, I guess you could have two draws or one draw, but yeah, like I just can't see anyone really scoring amazingly well in that PSV final game. If I had to guess, it'd obviously be the main culprits, Gakpo and Veerman, who I'm definitely fearing being at home. But Feyenoord we know Feyenoord are very, very good. And yeah, I wouldn't want to be playing in that game this weekend, definitely.
Yeah. It gives me confidence with my challenger cards that these guys are all going to be gridlocked against each other, which is lovely.
100%.
Vitesse have got a good game. They're at home to Volendam. You'd expect them to score a couple of goals.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come into the Prem, which again, for so rare purposes, I don't think enough of us care to go through in enough detail. We have PSG away to Lyon. So again, another power team, maybe locked up with a tougher fixture than normal. What would you think about that?
I don't know. Like I was scared for I didn't play my Badiashile on the weekend, which cost me a podium place, and you know they ended up beating Lyon 2-1. I know it's not like a massive victory in the sense of like scoreline wise, but yeah, I think I feared Lyon more than I probably should have for that Monaco game. And yeah, maybe I know we just look at Lyon and think, yeah, decent team, like obviously been in the Champions League, whatever. Obviously not this season at all, not even in Europe. I think this is a bit easier than we think in a weird way. Like, don't get me wrong, Lyon are going to obviously have to defend for their lives, and they have some really good players there, quite inexperienced, though, like Malo Gusto, Lubecko, whatever his name is, the centre half. But like, yeah, I still see PSG like having a decent time here, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I think actually you're probably quite right, because Like they've lost a lot of players over the last 12 months, and like yes,
Hmm.
the Belly's an okay striker, whatever. But it's, it's as if PSG are going to be shiting themselves.
Yeah,
With
no,
him and
no
Cherky coming
chance.
on for 10 minutes at the end, like
And get himself an assist.
maybe if Cherky was starting, it'd be a different story. Lille at home to
100%.
Toulouse, that should be an interesting game. I don't think it's going to be a particularly great one for SO5. Nice on GR, Marseille Rennes, tough game again for both of those
Tough.
two bigger
Yeah.
teams. Monaco away to Reims, maybe it's a good one for Monaco cards. In Russia, we have a Moscow derby, Spartak versus Loko. Sochi are at home. Sochi have got the best fixture in this division, I think, this week. Krasnodar have got a good fixture. Then we have Dinamo hosting Zenit, so there's going to be no Zenit riots this week, I don't think. I hope not. So hopefully Dinamo take one for the team and stop Zenit in their tracks, and it's just a boring 0-0 game or whatever. I'll just wrap up Portugal, so I don't think there's much in here, but we've got Benfica at home at Maritimo. It should be a good game, but again, Benfica maybe they rotate. Porto away to Estoril. Like, I was saying this would be a good game for Porto, but after the result they had like midweek, like they might be a club in crisis quite quickly, because it does feel like they're falling apart. And
A little bit,
like they
yeah.
should be spanking this team, and what Porto falling apart looks like is they maybe only beat this team by 1 goal,
Possibly, yeah.
Which, for SO5, that might be good. It might be just good enough for you, who knows. And Sporting are away to Boavista. That should be a harder game, as far as a hard game in Portugal would go for one of those teams.
Yeah.
Anything on any of those challenger stuff, Harry, from you? Russia or
Not really. I
Portugal?
mean, I'm obviously hoping for a Porto clean sheet. I think Costa's got the best chance for me this weekend. I do have a few Benfica cards. I'm
Yeah.
hoping that just don't change what isn't sort of going wrong at this point, and they can't stop winning. And obviously beating Juve midweek tells me that I'd be shocked if there's many rotations, if any,
Cool.
for Benfica, if I had to guess, because of the it's the last game, obviously, before the international break. So yeah, I just see them sort of steamrolling. Them at home. They might make rotation 60th, 70th, whatever. But yeah,
Sure.
ultimately, I don't see how they would change that starting XI. After beating Juve midweek, that would be poor on the players in that set. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know everyone wants to play. I'd be shocked if there's many rotations there, personally.
Yeah, no, I get that for sure. In Croatia, Hajduk Split, one of the bigger teams there at home, so that could be good. Rijeka, one of the bigger teams there at home, and Zagreb have a little Zagreb derby. Now I think Lokomotiva Zagreb are terrible, so I think that might be a good game for Dinamo. Double check that. Celtic away to St Mirren, fantastic fixture. I think we've got lots of goals coming, so let's hope for that. Otherwise, in Scotland, none of these fixtures are particularly amazing, But if you know the fixture well enough and you know your players well enough, maybe Motherwell should beat Hearts or that kind of thing. But otherwise, Rangers are playing Dundee United. If you have any Rangers or Dundee United, I'm playing all my Dundee United cards, so I think they're going to beat Rangers. I don't recommend that by and large, but I'm playing mine, and let's hope it's a good one. And that's all the fixtures, Harry, that we've got to go through. How many? So I've got a bunch of lineups going out this game week. How many have I made? I've made 15. There's only like 9 or 10 of them that I actually really have any sort of care or thought towards or whatever. How are you setting up for the game week, Harry?
I've got 5 technically, 3 main and then 1 underdog, and then my all-star rare, which unfortunately doesn't come into the main conversation. But yeah, 5 lineups.
Well, do you want to, because I'm mostly tinkering around with this system as such, you want to try and do your share screen now? And let's see your teams and go through them. And then.
So do I do it on Zoom, don't I?
Yeah. Do share screen. Do I need to accept something maybe?
Yeah, I think it says it's disabled for now.
There we go. I've just changed the settings or something.
Wicked, mate. Yeah, I'm good. Here we go.
Right, boom.
Right. Are you able to see my screen?
Yep. All good.
Okay, so first lineup is an under 23 rare. I never really have much choice with my goalkeepers right now, especially my rares. I have 2 goalkeepers, Lafont and Costa, and it's just a case of who has the better fixture. Worst fixture goes into under 23 rare. This week is Lafont, even though he's at home. I've just looked on SofaScore. They've conceded tonight against Qarabag, although they're away. Nuns can't keep a clean sheet to save their lives right now. So yeah, it does put me at a bit of a deficit because the 4 outfield players are obviously really big players, but they also have, barring maybe Timber's fixture on paper, they're all really good fixtures.
Yeah.
Can we guess the Pedri starts?
I think
we don't know. I think he does. I'd be shocked if he doesn't. He might come off 60th, whatever it is. But I think against Elche, it could be a nice fixture. Enzo on paper, like the Enzo and Pedri fixtures are like very similar for me.
Yep.
So I'm hoping for some really nice AA there. If they can get DAs, great. Ferreira away to San Jose. I fancy him to get a couple, to be honest. And if Timber can, or Ajax and Timber can sort of minimize any goals against AZ, I think he could be in for like a decent enough score. I don't think he's going to fucking get 100, but I do think he could do something. And then the priority lineup for this weekend is being built off of fixtures, to be completely honest, which it should be. Like we said, Costa has a better fixture than Lafont. Carlos Cuesta at home. We said the Genk versus Ghent situation. Genk don't play midweek, so I do like the freshness of that. It's just one less rotational worry for me. You know, do they get a clean sheet? I don't know, but I think they'll defend pretty well, and hopefully I won't have to really think about that. I'm hoping his AA can sort of take him beyond that, but if he gets a clean sheet, great. Badia Shield obviously playing right now, they're 0-0. But yeah, Remi's away. It's a really good fixture on paper. I'm just praying like rotation, like that doesn't come into play.
Yep.
Utkin at home, I think is a great fixture. He smashed it last week against Spartak. They beat him 4-2, I think, at home.
Oof.
So yeah, so I think he had like a 92 in the end, goal and an assist. And I didn't play him in any of my good lineups. Of course I didn't. But yeah, captain this weekend. I fancy him big time, to be honest. And yeah, debut for Jonathan David in the club. He's not somebody that I would ever have thought of buying, but yeah, I won him last weekend.
Congrats.
Thank you, mate.
What tier was that?
It was actually the best tier 1 of under 23 Rare Pro. So don't get me wrong, I'm happy with it. It could have been better. It could have been like a Wrench or a Badia Shield or even like a Mike Trezor. They were a little bit higher in the prize pool. But yeah, no, I'm over the moon. Like forwards, like for me, I started off the season with like a minimal amount of them. I had Fatty, who was like, is he going to be injured again? And then I had like Jens Odegaard, who was injured at the time of me buying him. He's now fine. So I was like a little bit short. I had a few super rares, but no rares. And then since then, I've really bulked up. And luckily, yeah, one of David. I've got a Carlson as well waiting in the wings for when he's back. But yeah, really good fixture on paper for Lille. But I don't love David, to be honest. It seems like he's forgotten how to score this season. Missed a penalty. Like, there's things against him, but I'm just hoping that this can be a nice little home fixture to where they can sort of gain a bit of confidence back. And then, yeah, the third most prioritized lineup is I guess this would come second, to be honest. But yeah, the Super Rare. So Tani, it's a nice team. I'm able to use my unique, and I'm gutted because he actually scored really well against Benfica last week. He almost got a 60. Nice. And I didn't play him, which would have been like a nice little 80 on the unique card, which was very frustrating for me because I don't know. And Luis scored really well last week, and I played him. But yeah, Zaidu did as well, but didn't play him. Zion at home again. Millwall are struggling though, home to Blackpool. I'm just praying he can get his first DA. Like we said, Luis and Benfica have a great fixture. Let's just hope they just don't rotate. Nico at home tomorrow night against Fulham, his ex-club. Oof. I'm praying that,
good game.
Yeah, good game. And they've just signed Serge Aurier as well, which somebody in the chat mentioned to me on Twitter, actually, I think. I can't remember I know exactly who it was. I just can't see his name right now. But yeah, I just think, yeah, the whole ex-club voodoo thing, I'm big on that. I always think the players play well against their ex-club for whatever reason. And yeah, I'm backing Nico to do well. But on the Serge Aurier point, obviously, Forest have signed Serge Aurier now, meaning that they have another right back to compete with Nico. So hopefully Nico can buck up his ideas a little bit and yeah, have a really good game tomorrow. And I'm praying for Forest to keep a clean sheet, to be honest. And yeah, Tani's fixture is tough, really, really tough. Even though they're at home. I know we said Euro haven't been great, but I've just got in my head they score goals all the time. So yeah, scared for that. And then I've got a cheeky little underdog team, super rare.
Nice.
Segi Kawa might play, probably should play. Played the last couple, so there's kind of no reason why he shouldn't. We've got Batil, who plays for Antwerp. Again, he could get rotated with Rich. Yeah, it's a wicked fixture, and I should be playing him in a better lineup, really, on paper, but Play Sharp is telling me, I know I said don't use it as gospel, but he's got him down at 60%, which just isn't probably enough for me.
Okay.
Because Richie DeLate started the last game, and then Jelly came on at half time, which was interesting to replace him. And then, Yaya Sharon, I just got a notification to say the Anderlecht team is out. I'm not sure if he's in it for this midweek, but just hasn't been decisive capable enough for me recently. And no, he isn't starting tonight, by the way, just a little side note. He's on the bench, to be fair. So I don't know whether that means he starts on the weekend. Kutku hasn't played the last couple, to be fair. He didn't come off the bench the last game and then came off the bench the game before that, but no decisives in the last 3 or 2 technically that he's played. Just had to throw him in. I don't fancy João Mario to play this weekend after his dire performance in the Champions League. And last but not least, the All-Star Rare team, 4 outfielders, my duplicate Daniel Lucken as my captain, Mika as my forward. He missed last game week because of suspension. Just hoping he can sort of, just get me some ether. Some really good players here, obviously Pablo Ruiz being one of them. And like we said, I will utilize my Seo Young Woo at home after his rotational midweek situation. So that's kind of me. I'm, there's some good fixtures here to be played out. If rotation doesn't come into it, I can see something happening. If it, it's going to be tough for it to all come together. I'm pretty excited, to be honest. We'll see that. We'll say that, and Nico Williams won't be starting tomorrow, Friday night, guaranteed. Just to ruin my whole day and my game week. But that's kind of me for the game week. Quinny, do you want to
that's cool.
Show us your boys.
Just need to end your share screen so we get your wee face back. There we go.
No worries.
Beautiful. We've actually just had some people coming in the live chat. Stefan, my man, fist bump, good to see you. He's not a fan of the new prize pool, saying it's only tier 3 rewards, 66% or so. He then goes on to say a lot of tier 2 and tier 1 have been put into tier 0. I don't like that. In terms of like players going into pools and who's in the pools, I'll need to check that myself, buddy. But in terms of like the tier 3s being the bulk of the add-ons, like I don't know what. Well, of course, tier 3s and tier 2s are probably going to make up, but there is just less stars. There's not, I don't know. I think that's kind of a given that the tail on all these divisions get bigger, and maybe some of the bigger pools, like tier 1 maybe goes up by like 2 or 3 cards, but tier 2 goes up by 5 cards, and then tier 3 goes up by 10 cards, or that kind of thing. So I don't think that's surprising. In terms of what's in the pools, we'll need to check into that. And then Julius Schwarzer, how are Midgetland winning 5-1 against Lazio? I then jump over to check the scores. And not only that, but Feyenoord are winning 5-0. So, goals galore. Qarabag are 3-0 on Nantes now, by the way. So, Lafont in the mud.
Big time.
Man U 2-0 over Tiraspol. So, a bit of action in the Europa League at the moment. Is the Conference League on there now? Yeah, there is. Alkmaar 1 each with Vaduz. Don't overlook Vaduz, Harry. We said that in the... they knocked a lot of teams out in the run-up to this group.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's nothing else. Like Genk are running away 3-0 with Shamrock Rovers. We thought that would be a decent game. But mad teams. So I've got a good bit more going out. But actually, this team now, I'm just kind of making every week. It's almost identical if I think they're all playing. It's just like I don't really have many other options that are like going to usurp these people. I had a wee chat with some people that I talked to privately. And the main thing I think I'm missing is maybe another super rare option to maybe rotate with Nemeka on Fixture, because that's maybe, and Nunez is, he's amazing, right? But he's not like 70 every game, amazing, if that makes sense. So I don't know. Yeah. I basically now just pick this. I think they're all playing. I just roll them together and we'll just let them go this week. Jota's not been in U23s for a wee while, so that's a wee bit of a change of pace on the last couple of game weeks. This is my second team that I put together because, again, looking at the prize pool, the Star Super Rare, which is something that I've built my gallery to chase down, has Kimmich in it, has Vinny Jr., Pedri, Nkunku, Tchouameni, Upamecano, Sadio Mane, Veerman, Lewandowski, the list goes on. So I know it's only the top spot, but this is what I'm dreaming of winning, right? Celtic have a great fixture. Like I think Trippier at home to Bournemouth is 100 capable. Maybe he doesn't get 100, but it's a game where if he is going to hit 100, you would think it would be a game like this at home to one of the relegation candidates. Otherwise, it's a Celtic kind of spine against St Mirren. All the guys that I know will play. I've left out the guys that get question marks on them. Soraya or Viviano are my only choice for goalkeepers. This is actually a really bad fixture on paper. Like the bookies have got Osasuna as the favourites. Osasuna are sitting 5th at the moment. Getafe are sitting like 3rd bottom. As I've said before, I think it was me and you were talking, Harry. I've probably been watching too much Getafe for my own liking over the last couple of years. But because I have watched too much Getafe, I actually know, or I think I know, that's not a bad fixture for them. I actually think this is a great fixture. I think it's clean sheet capable. I think if they don't get a clean sheet, the goalkeeper will make enough actions in the game to get some points for us. And I think this team can smash over 500, can push towards 6 with all the multipliers and everything that's going on. And I think that's what's needed to go and win this division. I probably won't win this week, but I'm aiming for it. And this is the team I'm putting out. Captain Tripp, because again, Rio, I'm expecting to come off at 60. Kyogo, I'm expecting to come off at 60. Trippy is going to get 90. He's on all the set pieces. Yada yada. So just the best captain choice on that kind of merit basis more than anything. Underdog super rare. So I did a members stream, Harry, on Wednesday, and I had a wee bit of help me out with the members, right? So part of the situation, I won't go into the ins and outs of it, right? But basically, I've got, as you'll probably know, I built a champion Euro super rare squad around the Sorare goalkeeper and the Denis Suarez unique. Denis Suarez is in the stands. He's not playing. So basically, where I've kind of found myself is this champ Euro contingent of super rares is my underdog super rare team most of the time. So I think Maffeo has got a great fixture, and if you have a Maffeo card, I would play him. I think he's going to have a great match. I think this is a great fixture for Maffeo. Llorente, Madrid derby, not holding my breath on that. Bryce Mendes is on almost 70 points tonight against, I'm just going to refresh it because Ammonia have scored. He's not got a decisive, but this will be, he's on, even with the goal against, he's on 64 points without a decisive. He's on fantastic form. The last game before the international break, I don't think he made the Spain squad, but I'll double check that. I expect him to play again. And again, at home at Espanyol, they should create some chances. They should be the better team of the match. Maybe he does okay. And then Hatate, I've made him captain. He'll probably start and do okay. If he gets a goal or an assist or something, he will be a worthwhile forward, hopefully, for this team. Let's see how well it does. The big team. Now, I chopped and changed this a few times because I went all Celtic, then I went no Celtic, and I've kind of went half and half in the end. And I've tried to make it as impartial as possible. So, Hart and Jens, I know both play and will both score pretty well. Same with Kyogo. So then the main kind of juggling issue I had was the supers and that kind of stuff, Do I play a super defender and blah, blah, blah. I've went with legit. We've spoken about the Dallas fixture. I just think he's the easiest super rare for me that I can look at and think he could get a random shitty assist or goal in the first minute of a game and then do nothing, but he'll walk home with that 60-pointer. And Enesuna, like I said about Getafe, I think he got 2 goals last weekend, or he did amazing last weekend anyway. He's in good form. He's a form player. He punches in bunches, after he gets a goal or 2, and then he'll go on a wee run and score a few. So I think he's a great forward to be picking as a super rare. And, with the price pool up to 150 plus cards, I just want guys that I know will play. I'm not, Unal and Legit start. They definitely start. The rest of these guys definitely start. I don't want to be taking chances. And I think if I get that hurdle, along with some of these things I'm forecasting coming, top 150 is there to be had, and it's just how well we do in terms of how far we get up that. So I'm pretty buzzing for that team.
Yeah, I like that.
I've went stronger than normal for Challenger Pro. I ended up putting the Maeda Super in here because I'm just not confident enough in what is going to happen with some of the forwards for Celtic at the weekend. Who starts, who scores, all that stuff, compared to some of the matches gone previously. So he's kind of been demoted into here. But again, kind of like I was saying to everyone about specialists and whatever, because I've got enough of a kind of Challenger footprint, even though I never really played Challenger Pro, I think the price pool's shocking. I think that's a good team. Aberdeen main midfielder away to Hibs could score okay. Hatate and Taylor, I've got big scores in them. Bayes is at home, he's away, but it's a good team to play against to get some AA. So I don't really, if this team doesn't pull a reward, it doesn't affect the game week for me. But equally, if it's in with a puncher's chance, I'll be all the happier for it. In terms of limited, there's only like 1 or 2 teams I'd fancy showing everyone. So All-Star, again, that same attitude. I just went, I'm picking the best guys because I realised I didn't have any L15 under 40 specialist cards. So then normally what will happen is I'll get the L15 under 40s, plug them in, and then it's who's the best 3 cards that fit around that. Do I need a defender? Do I need a forward? Who's the goalkeeper? Who's got the best fixture to be the L15 over 60 card? Don't have any of that. I've not got the under 40s. I'm not buying them. So, but this team, I just went best keeper, best defender, best mid, best striker, best other. And this is the team I ended up with. I'm expecting Kostic to get a decisive against Monza. Juve might not get a result. Goretzka, will start, in my opinion, against Osberg, and if he does start, he's on for a big score. Carter Vickers, Kyogo, and King Lampay, I think they speak for themselves. But with the price pool again being a bit bigger and a bit more tempting, 70-star rares up in here. Let's go for it, man.
Yeah.
Under 23s. Now, I'm just going for it. I think Haksabanovic has got a good chance of starting, and even if he doesn't, I think he's got a good chance of scoring from the bench, kind of the Celtic motto with most of these cards, So he's under 23 mid, he can go in here. Captain Gavi, I think it's going to be Gavi, Biscuits, and Pedri again. And I think against Elche, they'll score 4 or 5 goals, so captain him. Magno probably starts. It's a derby. Maybe he does okay, maybe he does shit. Not holding my breath on it. But a fun team all the same. And the only other one that's kind of interesting, I've got the community giveaway kind of stuff that I do with the members. This is the provisional team I've put together, right? I'll go and have a look at. So what I always ask my members to do, Harry, I don't know if you know this, sorry, I wasn't planning on bringing this up, but it's kind of here now, and I might as well do it, is you go into my gallery, you go to lineup builder, community lineups, and then you go to Challenger Limited, and then you pick the Challenger Limited team from my little squad, which I'll show you just now for anyone who cares. The member section, since I brought it up, it's 25p a week or £1 a month to join a stream every Wednesday, or £2 a month, 50p a week, and you get that. Plus, you get to pick this team, and any prizes it wins, you go into a raffle for the cards to be given away. And you're also in a Telegram group, and if you don't know what Telegram is, it's just like WhatsApp, but I don't need your phone number or anything like that. I'll be sitting there just talking about cards and football every day, basically. And this is the team that you can pick the cards from. They're basically all the Challenger ones that aren't big Celtic ones. There's some Celtic cards in here that are good fun, and I'll try and adjust it as I can. This game week, Joe Hart can be played here because I'm not using him as specialist, so it will be a bit stronger. This is the team I would pick. We'll see what the community picks, but I think Tony Watt, I think he's scoring against Rangers at the weekend. I think Rangers are on their knees, and I think Dundee United, just to call a spade, there's a lot of Celtic influence in Dundee United with guys like Tony Watt, Charlie Mulgrew. By all accounts, Stephen Fletcher's a Celtic fan as well. And I think there's a few other little bits and pieces dotted around there in terms of like kids and whatever. But I fancy if someone's going to score against Rangers at the weekend, I fancy it to be Tony. And I think he's got good AA game anyway. Tony loves his AA game. He loves getting interceptions. He loves pressing. He loves making successful box entries. He loves it all. Abada, same principle for any Celtic card I've mentioned to this point, really. And Nunez, get a good fixture at home to somebody crap. And then, see these teams here, Harry, these last 3 teams, Mixed Specialist, Rare, All-Star Rare, and Champion America. I juggled these. So when I came to these lineups, what I did is I just thought, I'm just going to optimize as much as I can and try and juggle them around and fit them in so that it's like the best set of 3 sets of 5. Rather than 2 being good and 1 being shit. I thought with this 3, I'll do a bit of optimization and try and switch it around, because in terms of me, priority-wise, me winning a card in Rare, any of these divisions, I'm not more excited or less excited about any of the divisions by themselves, if that makes sense. So I think I've done okay with that. I've got both of my L15 under 40 qualified cards for this. Is Reina, who I think starts in that derby match against Schalke. You're telling me they've got no defenders. And Ferran Torres, who I don't care if he comes on for the second half or whatever, he can get decisives. Castellanos is playing Betis. Betis are not great defensively, although they are a good team. And Angelino is at home to Freiburg, who are playing football right now, and Hoffenheim haven't played since last week. And Tani, as you know as well as I do, has not got a great game, but he is playing, and maybe he does okay. So
yeah, definitely.
I think that's a decent shot for specialist. The problem is the prize pool. It's not that particularly great. It's tier 2 supers and tier 2 rares mainly. So again, it's not an exciting thing to win, but I think that's the best team I could make that keeps these 2 teams still good, if you know what I mean. That's kind of what I've tried for. So All-Star Rare, huge prize pool in here. This team gets top 750 for me, I think, if they all play. We've got the New York Derby for the back base here. We've got the Scottish Messi, Ryan Gauld, and then we've got Dyson Maeda, who will maybe not start, but will definitely feature. Got a 12% multiplier. As long as he gets some AA, I think he'll be a useful forward card, really, no matter what the outcome here. And I think that's about all she wrote. Rare America, I tried my best to avoid having any NYC mixed in here because it's a mainly Red Bull team, but it was absolutely unavoidable. I really don't have any other option. And that's where I've landed. That's my mouthful of teams. It says I've got 15 here. It doesn't feel like 15. That was I did miss a team out, which I'll show you. It's actually probably one of my favourite teams because I am expecting Dundee United to beat Rangers. So I'm hoping my boy Mulgrew comes in with a decisive, comes in with a set piece or something. Hearts could do okay. Then I've got my other Celtic cards. Giakoumakis from the bench or from the start. Captain Taylor should get 90 minutes if he starts. But I think Taylor's maybe got like a 3% chance of getting benched. But I doubt it, really. But it's not 100% he starts, And then Viviano's an okay fixture. But this prize pool, like that team, as long as it gets top 25, I'd be content, But I could, if Dundee United get a positive result against Rangers, we've seen the Challenger fixture list. It's not particularly like skewed towards Ajax are at home at somebody shite, and so are Zenit, and so are this team, and so are that team. It's kind of open. So if I get one of those random performances go my way, along with some of my good Celtic cards, maybe this pops off as well. So I'm actually quite hopeful of like multiple cards, Harry. That's a bit of a mouthful.
Mate, there's no reason why not. Like you said, the whole fixture situation this weekend falls quite nicely, especially in Challenger. So if this is a week, like if any week you're going to win, it's probably going to come at a week like this, where, if you don't have those big cards for the most part, and they're all playing against each other, that kind of, it's a good indication of something happening for you, for sure.
Oh, I've just lost my camera. Sorry, I think it's maybe overheated. Sorry, 2 seconds, Harry.
You're fine.
Just need to change my wee camera around. Sorry, everyone at home. Can I add something into here? Yeah.
When he's on fire, he's too hot. Too hot to handle, the boys.
Oh, no. How did I add all this? They've updated how the buttons look. Sorry, everyone. Video capture. And then is it camera 3? Camera 2? Why is camera 3 not working? I know that doesn't mean anything to you, but it's just what I've kind of got them all called. I guess I need to go with the crab camera. Why is that not working? Oh, it's because I've got it on in Zoom. That's why. Oh, I wonder if I change it in Zoom. I should be able to do that, eh? That's the camera you see me with, Harry. Sorry, so I'm going to give you the crap camera now.
That's fine.
If it lets me change. There we go. Can you still see me, Harry?
No, I can't.
You can't see me? That's fine, 2 seconds.
Not right now.
Can I start video? Failed to start. I don't think it's going to let me change my camera halfway through. I think we're almost all but done. I do want to fix my camera for you guys at home, obviously. And give me 2 ticks. I'm just going to put the crap camera on here. Sorry, guys. But I'm on the... I'm on the worst camera I've got. It's just sitting somewhere to be sitting somewhere. It's not really stationed up pretty well. But yeah. We're going for an hour and a half, Harry. I think your lights died as well. My camera's dying.
I'm back. No, yeah. To be fair, I was using the natural light for a little while, but obviously it gets too dark after 7ish. So
is that what it was?
Yeah, I've turned on my artificial light now.
Any ideas on whether Maeda will start this weekend? I think I've caught that maybe since you've put that comment out. Have you seen the number of people entering the league-specific specialists? And this caught my eye, and I went and had a look at it, and it's actually kind of there's under 1,000 people in each of them, and there's 300 cards. So 30% hit. Like that's chunky.
Yeah, that's big.
For Specialist Limited, so you'll need your L50 under 40s, obviously. You'll need 5 guys that play, I think, and they could be good divisions to rock out in for sure. Good spy. Who was it that said that? EWH555. Man with his finger on the pulse. Thanks very much for the contribution. Ryan Wilkinson, Dundee United are 22-1. I'll have a go. That's definitely worth £2, to me. That's worth £2, that bet. Get about 50 back, Not that I'm promoting 100%. That, but there you go. I think that's all. I think that's almost all she wrote. I have done a Sorare community lineup for this weekend, by the way, as well. I recommend everyone doesn't forget to do that because I forgot for the last 2 weeks. Sorare World League community thing on Sorare Data, of course. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all from me, Harry. Is there anything else from you?
No, mate. No, I'm just sort of looking forward to this weekend now, and just sort of finalising my teams now after all these games tonight. Sort of complete and I could get a better idea of what I can sort of just be confident with going into the weekend. Yeah, I think next time me and you get together, we'll be doing some lineup builders for Game Week 310.
Yeah, just to jump right 100%. Into it and go for it. So yeah, I hope everyone at home, I hope you've enjoyed this. Sorry for the little technical glitch towards the end. At any point in the video today, if you did laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, or if you are interested in the member section I was just babbling about, there is a link in the description that will take you right to there. Otherwise, you go to the channel homepage and hit the members tab for all the details on how to do that. Yeah, have a great game week. Good luck, everyone. stay out of trouble, and me and Harry will catch you on the next one. Take care.
Yeah, good luck, lads.
Bye-bye.
Sorare.